Howdy everyone, and welcome to this week's Extra Time, the side order of garlic bread to accompany the main pizza of our Sunday session. As usual, there'll be a few questions for us to consider in light of what we've been looking at, so feel free to dip in and out and dwell on whatever takes your fancy from those. We began by reflecting on this week's announcements of possible dates by which different aspects of our community life may well be able to unlock. And so to get us going in response to that, how do you feel about the prospect of lockdown progressively lifting over the coming months? And out of everything, what are you most looking forward to the return of? Now, we looked at the story of the prodigal or lost son, and in particular the way in which his time away from home, we could call it an exile, helped to change him as a person. Indeed, time in exile, such as for us physically gathering as church in a building, well, it may not change the things we left behind, but it's highly likely to have changed us in the process. We've reflected in previous weeks on how we might have been changing during lockdown, but such are the evolving circumstances we're in that it's a question which perhaps needs a regular check-in. So try on these ones for size. In what ways do you think your exile from church and community life has changed you? And how might this affect the way you would hope to relate to people and to God on a return to gathered life? We considered some metaphors for how we could describe what church might be for us. For example, seeing church as a harbour, a hospital, a petrol station, a school, a pub. We wondered too as to whether sometimes church can be more like a bank or a trip to the theatre for us. So, which of these metaphors for church do you identify closest with? Where might worship fit into these? And then thirdly, are there other metaphors which you think get closer to the heart of what church life is or should be about? Alright, we then finished by thinking about some of the possible ways in which our personal experience of exile might feed into our communal, collected, gathered life going forward. I mentioned a couple of things which I've been aware of in my life, not least this idea that the term Christian maybe comes with so much baggage and preconceived ideas these days that it may no longer be the most helpful of ways to describe what it means to be a follower of Jesus. And so, setting up a little debate on this. How do you feel about the term Christian? And how do you think those outside of church life feel about it? And then what are some of the implications of your response? And then a follow-up and final question for today. What lessons would you say we are learning from exile about how we might best share the love of God with those we live alongside? Okie dokie, we'll clear the plates and wipe down the table of our time together today. Thanks very much once again for engaging with all this stuff. We'll be back next time with another portion, so until then, take care and let's get together again soon. Alright, bye for now.